Okay, so we're asked to write 280 as a product of its prime factors. So the word product means multiply, prime means numbers that have only two factors themselves, and factors numbers that go into each other. There are lots of techniques for doing this, but a lot of people like doing the prime factor trees. So we've got to remember that prime numbers only have two factors. So the prime numbers go 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19 and so on. All of these numbers only having two factors, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 5, 1 and 7, 1 and 11 and so forth. So we're going to divide 280 by one of the prime numbers. So because we want prime factors, factors go into things. So 2 is an even number. So 2 goes into 280 140 times, 2 goes into 140 70 times, 2 goes into 70 35 times. Because 2 won't go into 35 as a factor, then we look for the next prime number that will be a factor of 35, and it happens to be 5, and 5 goes into 35 7 times. All of these are prime numbers. So we are finished when all branches are prime numbers. The question says product, so we're going to be careful that we follow that through then. So basically we say that 280 can be made by doing 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 7. And what the examiners would really love you to do is to shorten this down where you can, write it as simple as possible. Well, when you multiply the same number by itself, then you can write it as powers. So 2 times 2 times 2 is the same as doing 2 cubed. Still got a 5 and still got a 7. So our answer here will be 2 cubed times 5 times 7. Common mistake is to miss the times sign out. So just remember, product means must be multiplied, and prime factors means you must be multiplying prime numbers. And if we multiply 2 by 2 we get 4, times by 2 is 8, times by 5 is 40, and 40 times 7 is 280. So that's what it means by the product of prime factors. Prime numbers that multiply together to give you the original number. Right, the next question asks us to expand and simplify what we call double brackets. There are lots of techniques for multiplying double brackets. Personally I use the grid because it helps me with lots of other things, factorising and multiplying decimals and so forth. So I break up each bracket into their component parts. Each term gets written. Now because 5 is plus 5, then it's positive, and because this says take away 4, I treat it as negative 4. We're multiplying, so each of these boxes will be the product of multiplying two bits that come into it. So y times y is y squared, y times 5 is 5y's, negative 4 times y is negative 4y's. Because we're doing a negative times a positive, then we end up with a negative answer. And negative 4 times positive 5 is going to be negative 20. 4 5's are 20, but we've got a positive times a negative, so negative 20. So multiplying these two brackets has given us y squared plus 5y, take away 4y, take away 20. We've got to remember the question said simplify, so any like terms we have to simplify out. Well, there are no more y squareds, so we'll just write y squared. But here we've got 5y's take away 4y's, which leaves me with 1y, and remember for 1y it's the same as just y. So simplify. And then we've got take away 20. The check, give y a value, and basically give it a simple value. So in this case I'm going to give it the value of 5. And the reason I gave it 5 is because I'd like this bracket not to be negative for positive things, and 5 take away 4 happens to be 1. So basically we've got y plus 5 times y take away 4. Replacing the y with 5, then we've got 5 plus 5, 5 take away 4. 5 plus 5 is 10, 5 take away 4 is 1, so the answer is 10. So what we've got to do then is we've got y squared take away y take away 20. Well, y squared is saying we're doing 5 squared, we're taking away 5, we're taking away 20. 25, take away 5, take away 20, 25 take away 5 is 0. It's interesting. What have I done wrong in my workings out? Gave y a value of 5. 5 plus 5 is definitely 10. 5 take away 4 is definitely 1. 10 times 1 is definitely 10. Y squared is going to be 5 squared. Take away 5, take away 20. Okay, it's a good idea to check because Mr. Pi made a silly mistake. We ended up with positive 5y's take away 4y's, which is actually a positive y. So we actually end up with positive y there, and 25 plus 5 is 30, take away 20 is 10. So both of them gave us 10, so our check now works. So that is why it's really important to check your answers, because even the best of us can make silly mistakes.